probably an emotional roller coaster. Started the season off pretty well, and then we had a dip and we struggled to get out of that dip. I think we're just now we're starting to get out of it a wee bit, a couple of wins, so long may that continue.
And the sort of plan, the succession at the start of the season, you're always going to become manager at some point, but that came sooner than expected. What was that like for you?
It was a bit of a shock. I got a call on a Thursday just before lunchtime, just to say, look, you're in the hot seat. So it was a wee bit, it was like coming down on the Thursday night, it was like coming down to a brand new club again. Obviously it was a different role, same players, but it just felt like it was a new club. It's always hard coming down to a club, whether you're a player, manager, or whatever, So I had a chat, had a wee bit of a meeting with the boys and just what we expected, and here we go again. I think they're well used to the chopping and changing, unfortunately, but hopefully there'll be a bit of stability, fingers crossed. Yeah, even probably leading up to the Dungannon game, but I think the Glen have been very, very patient. I think the first sort of bit of bad blood was actually Dungannon away. I heard a few shouts and stuff, which is to be expected. It was absolutely awful that day. Then Boxing Day didn't do us any favours either, so it was going to brew, and that was only like a week later or so. So, as I say, I played here after 2 defeats. Where the Glenmen were breaking the doors down, because the expectations are so high. So, hopefully we haven't lost the appetite of the winning ways. So, as far as we're concerned, we've come here not to stretch our own egos and stuff. We're coming here to, fingers crossed, help the club out, and being Glenmen, Leaper, obviously as well. We're here as I say, to help the club out.
And obviously after that game we got a big response against Institute, and then again on Saturday. What were those games like from your perspective? Well,
Institute away, as far as I'm concerned, don't want to scratch my own head here, but I thought over the 90 minutes was probably our best performance this season. Hard place to go. They were unbeaten in 7 league games. They're doing really well at the Brandywell, but we're down there and you're going, sort of praying to yourself, please. But everything we asked the players, they did it to a T. I thought by half time we should have been probably 3 up. The game could have been over, but then again, you're thinking, well, if I had been 1 or 2 or 3 up, then maybe we'll relax a wee bit second half. I was probably more pleased. They put us under so much pressure in the second half that our shape and the communication of the boys was absolutely brilliant, from Elliot right up to Curtis. Everybody was shouting and they were giving great instructions. Wasn't a crossword, and the energy levels are massive. So it was a great boost for us.
And the Newry game as well, obviously, what was that like?
See, we came in at half time. I think it was Newry's only shot on target, and they ended up being the only shot and goal in the 90 minutes. But half time you're coming in without playing that well. I think we still sort of bossed the game with 3 or 4 very good chances. Robbie had a header off the line, but probably the opportunity of 4 or 5 crosses from each side. The quality wasn't there, so we came in at half time just as like, don't be panicking. We're playing well, keep it going. The system we're playing, we're always going to attack. So I think the second half we pretty much camped in their half. Loads of chances. It's not like Curtis to miss. I've been delighted to see him scoring a couple. He missed a header and he missed a one-on-one, which is so unlike him. You'd have put your house on him. They were dangerous on the break. We had to keep the back door closed, which we did. We limited them to one shot on target. And I thought once we got the equaliser, there's only going to be one winner.
And as you were saying previously there, you're in the hot seat now. What sort of things have you changed and tried to implement within the team?
Again, it's down to, you don't want it to be a chore. It's a Saturday morning. You don't want it to be like a Monday morning. Everybody dreads a Monday morning. The last thing you want is footballers who love to play coming on a Saturday morning and waking up with that, that sick feeling in your stomach. Here we go. So just trying to make everything a bit lighter. It's not rocket science. The harder you make it, the harder it gets. Just trying to get a nice relaxed atmosphere. Keep getting it into the boys' ears what it means to play for this club. And so far, okay, it's 2 games, 3 games including Crusaders, which we were delighted with until the last 25 minutes. Everybody has knocked their pan in, and bought into it, and I don't think anybody could argue that they're giving everything they have at this minute in time.
And next up, it's probably your biggest test as Glentoran manager so far, Linfield away. Just your thoughts on that one?
Well, until Boxing Day, I think the 2 games previous could have went either way. We had the Sky game here. They beat us 1-0. I think the one shot, meaningful shot on target. We had 2 chances with headers. I think one just bounced over the bar, but headed down. The other one, Curtis, had headed past the post. very little in it, and then I think it was the County Antrim Shield game went into extra time at Windsor. Again, I thought over the 90 minutes we were probably the better team. I don't know if we run out of steam, but they were the better team in extra time, you know. So I would take the 2 performances in the first 2 games, but obviously with a different outcome would be the dream. But we've got to be realistic. If we're going to go there, we'll get everything we have, and fingers crossed it'll be enough.
And you've dipped into the transfer market as well. Gavin Pearce has joined the club. Just tell us a bit how that came about and what you think he can bring to this team.
Well, we're keeping an eye down, you know, down south. Obviously up here, you know, this time of year, people are pretty much tied up, especially quality players. So his name cropped up from, as I say, a couple of contacts I have down south. I did a wee bit of homework on him, rung a couple of different people, and their words were, get him, if you can get him, get him. I gave Kenny Shields a ring, who was his manager last year. I worked under Kenny at Ballymena. He said exactly the same. He says he's a winner, you know. I think his record speaks for itself. He played in a very successful Sligo Rovers team, captain it, you know. So he only brings, you know, experience to us with a pretty young squad there. So fingers crossed, Gavin will be the answer, you know, at the back for leadership.